Now, this video right here is probably going to be very controversial just because of what anime it's dealing with. It's dealing with Boruto. And Boruto, for some people, it's hit or miss. With me, personally, I think it was a pretty good anime. The only reason I say good is because it's successor. And there's nothing wrong with that. People expect greatness all of a sudden just because this stemmed from Naruto, but that's not the case. Boruto is its own show. It's not like they're automatically going to be great just because it's Naruto, like just because it's related to Naruto. Technically, it is a Naruto show, but people just assume that it's going to be perfect as soon as it kicks off, and it's not that way. Naruto didn't start out that way, and no anime starts off that way. You got to give it some traction and let it build up. I just feel like people aren't giving it a fair shot just because of what they've seen, but it's just waiting for development. People aren't ready to sink the time in like they did with the original. And I'm kind of being a hypocrite right now because I watched a bunch of Boruto. I watched every episode of every week, and then around like, I don't know, maybe like 80 or 90, I just dropped off, and it did kind of get boring, but I'm not giving up on it. You know, I feel like there's still something there, and something will pop off soon enough. We just have to be patient. Here's why I think that. Now, I think we should start off with the most notable trait of this show, and to some fans it's the most annoying, and that's that they're practically souped up clones of their parents. Let me just name off a few characters and know why they have the potential to be better than their parents or as strong as their parents. Boruto, he's just a Naruto clone adding on to his one-of-a-kind dojutsu known as the Jugen. Now the Jugen, it's what I just said, is one of a kind. No one else has it. It's a form of the Tenseigan, which is a upgraded version of the Byakugan, and that shit is actually it's very, very useful. I'm quite sure the Tenseigan, it had the powers of the Byakugan but just enhanced. Like it was just a buffed up version of that said trait that his mother has. Yeah, and let's move on to Himawari. She's Hinata with a much better chakra reserve. Himawari, she was what, 6 or 7, and she unlocked her Byakugan, Gentle Fish, when she used it on Boruto, when he ripped the bear up. And she has a very strong chakra. Uzumakis are known for having very high chakra levels. And Sarada, she's a Uchiha, and she has arguably the second best medical ninja ever as a mother. And her mom, not forget, her mom is quite literally the strongest character in Konoha. Almost, it could be the entire show, I'm not sure, but she definitely has the strength. Getting down to Mitsuki, he's greatness all around. And in my opinion, he's Orochimaru's best experiment gone right. Like, that man is just cold. And Shikadai, he's just Shikamaru, and he also has the blood of the mighty 5th Kazekage, Gaara. Metal Lee, you know, he's an exception because Rock Lee, he's cold no matter what. Chocho and Inojin, they're great side characters, just like Choji, Ino, and Sai were. And last but not least, Gaara's son Shinki. He's not Gaara's blood, but he damn sure is Gaara's child. I think it'll ultimately lead him to being even more strong than he already is, and eventually he'll become the 6th Kazekage whenever Gaara steps down or passes away or whatever that may be. Listing off those characters, you can just see like the immense amount of potential they all have. They're actually just clones of their parents, adding more and more to them because of their parents' spouse. The combinations for their child, it's just like crazy. And some people do get mad at the fact that they are quote unquote clones of their parents. But I mean, obviously you're gonna have traits of your parents. They have traits of both of their parents. Himawari, she may look just like Hinata, but her and Boruto's hair are similar, and it's not like either Naruto's or Hinata's. It's just people just wanted something to complain about. Like, they're not exactly like them. Like Boruto using Gale Palm, using his Hyuga blood, but also using Vanishing Rasengan and stuff like that. They add in both, and that's why I think that part of the show is like great. I love that they add both of their bloodlines into their fighting styles and their ninjutsu, and that's why I think they have potential to become greater than what they are now. as the show continues to progress, you can see how much they rely on Naruto in the village. And I just think that they're using him too much as a lifeguard. They just can't keep holding on to him. In my personal opinion, I think Naruto should stay in the show for just like a little longer, but like something life changing needs to happen in order to rule him out of combat. Whether it be him getting badly injured, like in a battle, or maybe even his death. The writers need to understand that it's Boruto's show, and even though many fans would be saddened, including myself, it'll only make the character development like soar through the roof. It'll intensify the show and make it more interesting. Like, I know there's new writers. I'm quite sure that Kishimoto is not even writing anymore, and they gave another writer the reins. I'm not sure. I don't know the writer off the top of my head. I don't remember his name. And they gave him all reins to like kill anyone off, and I just feel like they're not playing around with the idea enough. And I know like you can't just kill him off. Like, and yeah, they showed a future Boruto and Kawaki, and he said, I'm gonna send you where I sent the seventh, and that's how you know that Naruto was gonna be around for a while until up to that point, because to that point, what Boruto looked, he was around the same age Naruto was around the Great War arc. But like, I feel like more deaths need to happen in order for the characters to grow and for them to be stronger. They just can't keep holding on to these Naruto characters, these beloved Naruto characters. I think leaving Sasuke as the main, not the Hokage, but the main influence leader, him and Shikamaru as the leaders of the village, whoever they replace as Hokage, maybe they bring back Kakashi or whoever they bring in. I feel like Sasuke and Shikamaru would do a great job helping lead. They already do. They call Sasuke the second Hokage because he's out there doing the dirty work, doing those dirty missions, dealing with fucking godly beings, and letting the Hokage Naruto deal with the domestic policies and stuff like that. And I just feel like they need to bite the bullet on some things. They can't just keep holding on and cuddling these characters. They have to sacrifice some if they want the character development to be better. If they want the characters to be stronger, to have meaning, and that's how they're gonna do it. There's no other way around it. I just feel, just stop babying it. You just got to do what you got to do. If that means sacrificing some characters, then that's what you have to do. For the story, I feel like it should be a piece of cake for the writers because it has so many question marks. There's so many things you can think about in this story, and there's so many things you can adapt upon and progress the story with just these questions. Questions, you can just develop the story more and more as you ask more and more questions. And I wrote down a few just to get in the minds of the writers, and I know they probably thought about these already, but I just wanted to let you guys know what I'm thinking. How is Boruto going to adapt to his new eye? Now, I know he's the only one in the entire series, Naruto and Boruto, who's ever had this eye, and it's even stronger than the Tenseigan. So how is this going to work in terms of ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu? You never know if it could be even greater genjutsu dojutsu than even the Sharingan. I know the Sharingan is the strongest genjutsu using eye. You never know with this new technique. They can add so many perks to it. They can add so many different advantages to this new eye that we see. I want to keep using dojutsu, but this new eye, I'll just say new eye, the Jugen, it's very expandable, something that you can add upon to. Another question I had was, will Sasuke sacrifice one of his eyes to make Sarada stronger? Now, I think of that because Itachi gave his eyes to Sasuke because he thought he was strong enough. He passed away and gave his eyes to Sasuke. Now, I don't know how they would set this up, but maybe Sasuke just isn't fit to fight anymore. He turns ill just like Itachi did, and maybe he just gives up his eyes to Sarada because he knows that she will become the next Hokage, and she is strong enough to bear these eyes, even though she's only part Uchiha. That's something that they can expand upon as well, and maybe they will. Also, is Orochimaru trustworthy? This one was just kind of like a iffy because you never know. He was sending Mitsuki into the Hidden Leaf as an unknown ninja or whatever, and even even though Orochimaru was locked up and shit and Sasuke has him under control, you never know. He's one of the smartest people on the show. He's very intelligent and he's very great at manipulating people, especially Sasuke of all people. Another one, will Konohamaru reach that Kakashi level that everyone wants to see? No, I think that Konohamaru can, just because of his name. He's Konohamaru Sarutobi. He is the grandson of the third Hokage, the nephew of Asuma. Asuma was cold, regardless of what anyone says. Asuma was my favorite sensei. He was greatness all around. And so was Hiruzen. Like, he trained the 3 legendary Sannin. I feel like Konohamaru has that in him. Kid learned Rasengan at like 9 or whatever the hell, how old he was. He definitely has that in him, and I think they're going to show that more in the show as it gets more and more. They're on like episode 100 something, so they better start progressing pretty soon, or else people are really going to stop watching. And then my last one was just, is there going to eventually be a time jump? I believe so, because first episode they did a time forward to Kawaki and Boruto standing on the Hokage's mountain. I'm going to send you where I sent the 7th. Yeah, I definitely think there's going to be a time jump, because I don't think they have enough time to just sit there and flesh out a whole 7+ year series where they just develop the characters on and on. Time jump is useful. Giving on Boruto this early in the game is just practically stupid. I think it's dumb to just count a show out because of what the show before it accomplished. I'm definitely gonna keep giving it a try. I'll give it a try over and over again until I feel like it's hit something, because I definitely feel like they can strike gold with this show, and you never know, it could just keep going on and on and on. Like, they can make millions off of this, which they already do. I know it's very big in Japan. There's Boruto buildings, like cover art, I mean, for the buildings, Boruto billboards, like, there's everything. It's still a very popular show regardless of the criticism, and giving up this early into its lifespan just seems plain stupid to me. I feel like they'll figure out the rough patches, and then it'll turn out to be a great show, just like Naruto was. The potential is immense. The potential is too much to say no to it. You know, I definitely got to get back on my grind and start watching it again. There's just so many great shows out now. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.